delightful. Welcome, Halloween fiends and dearly departed. This is my first full-length video, and boy do I have something planned for you. So I thought for my first full-length video that I could do something, as a Halloween enthusiast, I myself have been looking for, like a very specific kind of video to watch, and I just haven't found it. And so I thought, why don't I make it? Why don't I make the kind of video that I want to see? And so that's what I've decided to do today. As many of you know, I am a Halloween artist, and throughout the years of selling art, I've used a lot of that income to turn around and actually buy other Halloween artists' work. And I've amassed a bit of a collection over the years. So I thought it would be fun to maybe do a tour of my collection, of some of my pieces. And so I thought specifically today we could focus on my Junker Jane collection. Now, Junker Jane is a doll artist. I discovered her back in 2008 on Etsy. It was really before it became the beast that it is today. It used to be a very small community. It was very handmade. Everything was handmade. There was no manufacturer or overseas or, anything sneaky like that. It was actual crafters. And, there weren't as many of us. And so a lot of us really got to know each other's work. And, particularly the Halloween community was quite small. And anyways, I consider Junker Jane as part of that Halloween community because her work, it's a little bit spooky and creepy, and it also has just a lot of like sort of fun to it. It's good spooky fun. And, many of her dolls have this sort of like aged, worn, found in the attic sort of look. And I just love that so much. So anyways, so I thought I could share some of my collection with you. The other thing about Junker Jane is that she actually has made me a better artist just by seeing her work, by watching her evolve as an artist, and the ideas that she comes up with just blow my mind. She thinks outside of the box in terms of what a doll is and what it can be, and that's really influenced me as an artist, to try to push the envelope, to try to think outside of the box, and also to just bring good spooky fun to the world. And sometimes when I'm feeling a little sad or uninspired, I actually will go around my art studio and pick up each one of her pieces and hold it in my hands, and I will look at it and I will dream and I will become inspired. And so I hope that in watching this video, perhaps you'll walk away with some sort of appreciation for her work as well, and because she's such a talent, and I just love her. So if this sounds good to you, let's get started. This is Heloise, and Heloise is actually the very first Junker Jane doll that I ever bought. I bought her back in 2008 or 2009, and at that time, Junker Jane had become the featured artist on Etsy, and oh my god, her work sold so fast. You were lucky if you were able to get any of them. But the minute I saw Heloise, I knew that she had to be mine. Just look at that funny, lopsided little smile. She's a very simple doll. At the time, Junker Jane really, she was the only one that really did this. There were, primitive doll artists, but what she did was she took the primitive doll and she made it weird. And I love that so much. And as you can see, Heloise has no legs. And if you look at her back, it's this sort of greenish, I'm not really sure what that material is, but I think she also uses used a lot of recycled fabrics as well. But at this time, she didn't yet have her Junker Jane tags. So this is an original, but it's very old. So anyways, that's Heloise. And this one is Monster Ramona. The thing that I loved about Monster Ramona was, first of all, her little personality. The thing about Junker Jane dolls is that they all have such amazing personalities. And the minute I saw Monster Ramona, I knew she had to be mine. And Monster Ramona was actually the second Junker Jane doll that I ever bought. I loved her color scheme, and you know, the little candy corn sort of arm. She just looked like she was up to no good, you know, a little mischief maker. And I apologize for any cat hair that you see. I do have cats, and I've done my best, but we'll see. But on the back here, you can see that she still has not gotten around to making her special Junker Jane tags yet. So this one is also, you know, older. So there she is in all her glory, Monster Ramona. All right, folks, now we're starting to get into the more intricate dolls. This one was the third doll that I ever purchased from Junker Jane. This is Voodoo Ghislaine. And this one, you know, I feel like there was kind of a jump in between the time that I started collecting her dolls and to her third doll. So this one, I think I may have bought in like 2011, 13, somewhere around there. But anyways, this is the last one that I know of, specifically the order that I bought it in. So anyways, this is Monster Ghislaine. Let me get up close here so you can see all the details. She's a beautiful, beautiful doll. Look at that. Grunged up to perfection. And when I turn her over, so this thread right here, this one, I added myself because I like to hang them on the walls in my art studio. But anyways, so here we have her tag for the first one that I have with a tag. But as you can see, there are so many cool little details. You can see that she has, you know, sewn around the eyes. There is like, I'm not really even sure what that is that she put on there to make it a nose. She painted the mouth. It just, the way she grunged it up. These are even, she's put something on this. This is embroidery thread, but she's put something on it to sort of make it stand up. And you know, you'll see a number of her dolls. Some of them are very like monochromatic. And I think those actually might be my favorites. The ones that are just kind of like toned down and like, you know, just kind of aged looking. So anyways, that is Voodoo Ghislaine. Amazing, right? All right, guys, get ready for a super precious one. This one is Monster Scuttle. And I'm gonna just move her up closer so you can have a good gander. She is so precious. Look at that sweet, sweet little face. She looks so like childish almost, like like of the dolls that she makes, like this one just looks like a sweet little girl or something, like a sweet little girl doll, and I just love that so much. But also look at all of the textures. That's the other thing that I really love about her work, is that she takes all these wild patterns and somehow they work together, and they're so detailed. And like look at this scrap of fabric that just goes across there underneath the stitching. It's just brilliant. Look at this right there under the, under that button eye. Amazing. I love it so much. And I love her rosy little cheeks. She's just so precious. And here's her back. I don't know if I already showed you this or not, but here's her little back, and there's her little Junker Jane original tag. And again, she has a little embroidery thread on the back because I also hang this one up as well. So, so cute. She's just so precious. Okay, so this is Monster Faunus. And I believe he probably was named Monster Faunus because of his glorious antlers or horns, whatever you want to call them. But I think his name is just so fitting. I love him. I love his rosy little cheeks. He reminds me a lot of Monster Scuttle, with the little rosy cheeks, but also the color scheme and just the sweetness to him. I could not wait for this one to show up in the mail when I ordered him many years ago. And he's I'd say one of my favorites. When I need a little inspiration, I'll pull him down and look at him. But I mean, the thing is, I'm not really sure what she used, but like the face, it's like stiff. Like the texture of it. Now the back, look at the back. He's got like this little botanical sort of outfit, which is just so fitting for such a nature themed doll. And I love his little skull button too. Just such sweet little details. And look at this eye button. It's like an old vintage like wooden button. It looks really worn out, and it's just so fitting. And then even behind, I don't know if you can see or not, but there's like this textural, it's almost like a velvet or something, but it's like this olive velvet, and I just love that. Anyways, yeah, that's Monster Faunus. Okay. So now I'm going to show you a couple of my little voodoos that she's made. Look at this guy right here. This one is such a cutie. This one, so she's made a number of these over the years, with various textures and patterns, and but the thing that's really special is their faces, and sometimes their shapes. Like this guy, he kind of almost looks like he's like leaning a little bit, and I love that. And he's so tiny, he's so little. But I also I don't know if you can see this or not without it like blurring. Sorry about that. But anyways, I love his little face. I love that there's like this, it's almost like a little like floral pattern right above, like right along where his nose is. And I just adore this little guy so much. And then this is his back. And as you can see, he has his little tack also. But look, I mean, even just the detail, like the heart has been stitched on really well. I mean, her work is just, it's really, it looks simple, but it's really quality work. It really is. All right, now this one, oh my goodness. This one has sort of like a little like entomology theme going on with him. He's got like a little like fly up there, if you can see. And I loved that detail of this one. Also, the shape of his face, how it kind of like comes out a little further over here than the other side. I love her little lopsided ones. I don't know. They just have so much personality. Anyways, so this one, yeah, he's got like a lot, like some insects and bugs all over him, which really was such a fun idea and such a fun pattern for this particular creature. And I just adore them. They're wonderful. They're really special. This is Haggis Witch. And as you can see, she's got no legs. She has a sort of hand-dyed, hand-grunged up olive green face. I think my favorite thing about this doll, what really sold me on her, is the mouth. I love that sort of like spooky, kind of like grouchy mouth with like all the or like the stitching down below. It just looks like almost like it's melting off. Such an inspiration. And then the other thing is, like, look at the details. Like, you can see with this eye, like right behind it, there's like lace and then this other like black fabric on top. And it's like she doesn't take it and like put it all around the eye. It's just that one sliver. I mean, just brilliant, just brilliant. And like over here too, she's got different textures of this sort of like, I don't know, like coffee stained, grunged up fabric just in the shape of an X underneath the button. But I just love her thought process. She's so creative. And then down at the bottom here, you'll see there's like a little lace detail. She's got a little skull attached to her. And then on the back, she has just this single strand of lace just across. And then also her little tag is hand dyed that same olive, sort of murky olive green that I've really come to love over the years. I use a lot of like sort of a murky green in my work as well. I love that sort of faded, sort of, swampy color. Anyways, so that's Haggis Witch. Okay guys, this one is super special. This is one that sometimes she'll show like progress photos, or she used to. I don't know if she does anymore. I'm no longer on Meta, but she used to share progress photos on like Instagram. And when I saw the progress photos of this doll, I knew that I had to get this doll. This is Monster Bixie Jinx. Look at this doll. I mean, this is absolute brilliance. You can see on her face, she's got, it almost looks like her eye is sort of slipping down. And then we have these hand stitch details. It almost looks like her face has been like stitched on to her body. But then it's also like sewn. It's just incredible. The detail is incredible in these dolls. Her mouth, she's got like a little clay mouth that's very primitive looking. And I love that. So then we also have, you can see she has like one of those like sort of like monster eyes, and then also she put one as a nose for Monster Bixie Jinx. The other thing is she's got a lot of like actual sort of like doll details. She has this, these little strands of curls that looked like they were sort of like cut from like a doll wig. And then we also have an actual sort of like doll hand, which is a really cool sort of detail. And then her other hand is just a sewn one. Oh, I love it. And then her outfit is just layers of lace, layers of grunged up lace. And then on her back, You can see she also has a little bit of lace back there. She's got little polka dots. She has like one short leg and one super long leg. And you can see again the label. But I think this one is just so creative and so unique. This was one of her dolls that just blew my mind when I saw it. Just the facial expression, even like her rosy cheeks. Look at this. It's got like embroidery thread that she stitched on. That's hand stitching right there. It's just, I'm such a sucker for hand stitching. Maybe I've said that before about another one, but it's true. I really am, because you can tell when someone does that they really like sat down with it. They spent time with it, and they like put their love into it. You know, I mean, when you use a machine, I'm not saying that when you use a machine, you're not putting your love into it, because I use a machine a lot, and I put so much love into my dolls, but there's just something about sort of like the slow crafting of the hand stitch that just makes it that much more like personal and meaningful. And it carries a lot of soul in it. Anyways, so this, again, Monster Pixie Jinx, I'm going to give you another close-up because she's so stunning. She is just so stunning. Oh, gosh. Look at that. Just look at that. I mean, and underneath, she's got like a little button. She's got lace, grunged up lace. Every detail has been considered, and it's commendable. I applaud you, Junker Jane. All right, let's see who's next. Ooh. And this is Voodoo Fanchon. I think that's how you say it. I'm not really sure. But this one I love so much. Look at his little face. Again, he looks like he's just, you know, he's got this one sort of like actual like monster doll eye, you know, and it just looks like it's just looking like right at your soul. And I love that, like a little laser beam. And then, oh my God, there's so much cat hair. I'm so sorry about this. But look at this color scheme. I love the color scheme. I love the different textures. She's got some lace down here, hand stitching around this black heart. She's got like this sort of like botanical, sort of like, I don't know, like dark, sort of brown, botanical, faded looking fabric. Oh, and I just love that. Well, he's got a little skull, of course, but I love his funny little hair. And also that, you know, some of her dolls have legs like sewn on, but some of them have this sort of like horseshoe thing going on. And that always cracks me up. I love the ones that have the little horseshoe legs. They're just so weird. And then this is the back of Voodoo Fanchon. He's got the botanical print on the back as well, and some lace detailing, another embroidery thread, because I hang them up, as you know, with her little tag at the center. But then also, if you look at it from the side, I mean, she even went through and like hand stitched all around. And I am such a sucker for hand stitching, especially when it's like obvious, when it's like super duper obvious. I love that. Anyways, and also look at his he's got little like wooden beads sewn onto his mouth, which is, you know, really different from the other ones that I have. But anyways, so that's Monster Fanchon. Okay, so this next one is one of my spookier dolls. This one is Monster Griselda. She's much taller than the others that we've seen so far. And she's wearing all black. Her face is this almost like a grayish white, sort of like corpse coloring. And she's got the little safety monster eyes. She has 3 eyes, which really sets her apart from others. I like that she has this sort of like, what do they call that? Like the third eye. She has like a third eye on her. And the texture on this is so wonderful. Let me put it up close, see if you can see it. It's almost like a lace, but you can tell that a lot of these fabrics are, you know, recycled fabrics, which is another really cool thing about Junker Jane. And on the back, she's got this little ruffle, and her hair is like this sort of like faux fur. Let me put her up close again so that you can really just admire the details of this doll. And she has a little velvet bow. I don't know if you can see that or not. It might be blended in. The lighting is it's starting to get a little darker here now, so hopefully I don't run out of time before you get to see all of my beauties. Anyways, so that's Monster Griselda. So here is yet another spectacular doll. This, oh boy, this is Wartilda. Look at that schnoz! Look at it. I love how shiny it is. And her face, again, is stiff. It's that sort of like grunged up olive green, but it's got this sort of like feel to it that's, you know, a different sort of texture. She's got her rosy little cheeks. I feel like her mouth is, it's like a black velvet, and then she has her monster eyes. And again, that detailing around the eye with the stitching. I just love that, like little weird, funky eyelashes. And she's got a little stitchy mouth as well. And then she has, it looks like these are sort of like vintage buttons. And then we have her very own little skull. And we again have the long leg and the short leg. And if you look on the back, we have yet more patterns. We have the black with orange micro dots and her tag. And then as you can see on the back, she has a different pattern right here. So anyways, this is Wartilda, and yeah, she's really something special. Especially, I mean, I think she might be the only one that I have that has like a funky nose, and I really appreciate that. Okay, next up we have the Harvest Witch. This is another thing that I really admire about Junker Jane, is the names that she comes up with for these creations. I feel like they're really sort of fun. They're creative and clever. What I love about the name of this one, Harvest Witch, is that she doesn't even have like a witch hat. It's a jack-o'-lantern. You know, it's a really sort of effed up jack-o'-lantern. And look at that spooky face. Again, the fabric is very firm on the front, like she did something to it that kind of stiffened the fabric. This right here is like it's like a faux fur that she made into its hair on either side, which gives it sort of like a clown-like feel to it, which is kind of fun. I love the use again of these sort of like monster eyes. Let me get close up there. Yeah. And then on its body, I love the little sort of vintage owl motif. I think that, is it like a Dennison? I feel like Dennison made these die cuts, like actual die cuts, you know, back in the early 1900s. And this is such a famous image. and I love it that she incorporated that into this doll. It adds this whole other layer of Halloween and nostalgia, and again, she has like a variety of different fabrics that she used for it. On the back, we have this sort of like plaid color with, you know, like a chevron. And then right here, we have her little label again. And then look at these little sparkly puff balls. Isn't that fun? Such a great idea. And I love that she used like, there's like a button there too. Such a great idea. The arms, they have one pattern on the front and then one pattern on the back. It's on both of them. And I love that this arm has the same pattern as on the back. And like, I love how she does these like uneven arms and legs, you know, because I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but before her, I feel like people didn't do that. They really like tried to like make it, you know, nice and even, you know, this arm matches this arm, this leg matches this leg. And what she did was she went and she just turned it on its head and made these sort of like lopsided weirdo dolls. And that's another thing that I just really appreciate about them. All right, so that's the Harvest Witch. Okay. So some people are like super into clowns, but it's not really my thing. But these Junker Jane clowns are some of my favorite ones in my personal collection. This is Monster Mummer, and I love the shape of this creature's head and also how the mouth just kind of like tilts down, like almost like it's grimacing or something. And then she went through this sort of phase where she did these like printed eyes. Let me see if I can get up there real close so you can see it. I don't know, it's probably pretty blurry. Let me see if I can cover my face, you can see it. Yeah, there you go. And then over here she has, you know, sort of an X'd out eye. I love the material that she used for the body. It's got these ruffles, and I'm really big into textures. I love textural pieces. The hat is like this sort of, I don't know, like fleecy plaid or something. I don't know if I wouldn't call it fleece. Maybe like flannel. It's like flannel. On the back, we also have some more of that flannel, but we also have some more of that kind of funky, I don't know, like spotted, weird material that was super grunged up. So that's Monster Mummer. Okay guys, so this next one is a little bit famous because it was featured in this copy of Prim's magazine. Let's see here, it was volume 5, issue 1, winter 2014. Let me turn to the page. All right, so this is the spread, the Junker Jane spread, and the one that you're about to meet is actually this one right here, the little bunny. This is Monster Rosebud. This one I like to display with sort of like magic items. Like I have a magic wand and like chatter teeth, and also like I have this creepy doll. I like to display it all together. But this one has a variety of textures as well. I love the sweet little bunny ears, and they're so squishy and soft. On the back, they have this sort of like faux fur. It's like grunged up light pink faux fur. You can see the sort of like rose pattern throughout on the back. It has the one long leg and one short leg. You know, I love, again, the rosy cheeks on this one, the facial expression. It just has such personality and just so sweet. But anyways, let me get nice and close so you can have a good look at Rosebud. Let me turn her around one more time. Yeah. Look at that sweet little pink nose. One of those safety eyes used as a nose. Very clever. Okay guys, this one is so much fun because it's just a head. It's just a little head. And I love the color scheme with it. That's sort of like, I don't know, it reminds me of like Martha Stewart blue. It's so fun. And there's not much to it, but what personality. And I named this one actually myself. Its name is Potato. And you know how there was like that whole thing going on for a while where like people, and maybe they still do it, but with like garden gnomes, where, you know, they kind of like, someone would like steal their neighbor's garden gnome and like put it, you know, like take it with them on vacation and then take photos of the garden gnome. Anyone remember that? Anyways, I took this little guy to Dollywood with me throughout Tennessee a number of years ago. And I took photos with this little guy's face all throughout Tennessee. So he was sort of my little garden gnome. Anyways, so next up we have the Voodoo Queen. Here she is. She's got one long arm, no legs, but she has this Okay, so next up we have the Voodoo Queen. And she has this one long arm, no legs as you can see, but she has this really cool sort of like skeletal pattern going down the front. I love the monochromatic coloring of the doll, the sort of faded antique looking but super creepy look to it. Another thing that sets this one apart is its mouth, which is different from all the others that I've shown you so far. I love how the nose is like, it's like layered, two different layers of fabrics on top of each other. And then the heart that's sewn onto the head almost acts as like a third eye, which is really a cool concept, I think. I had been wanting one of her skeletal dolls for such a long time, and so when this came available, my fingers typed so fast over those keys to order this one. And then on the back, we have her little label, and then also the X on the Voodoo Queen's head. But the other thing that I really love about the fact that this one's called the Voodoo Queen is it doesn't necessarily have like a crown, but it has this sort of like conical, you know, almost like witchy hat, which is really cool idea. So anyways, there's the Voodoo Queen. So this is Monster Marzi and Pixie, and I just wanted to go ahead and film them on the wall so that you can get an idea of how they're displayed together. And then I will take them down so we can have a closer look. So next up we have a set. This is Monster Marzi and her little friend Pixie. And they came together as a set. Monster Marzi has this sort of like wide mouth. She looks like she's gonna like blab all of your secrets to the world. And she's got these, you know, the sort of doll wig curls details, and on top of her head she has this little clown cake topper, which I really love it when artists do that, make it sort of like mixed media. And that's another thing that I really appreciate about Junker Jane's work, is that she, you know, she gets really creative and really clever about the items that she uses in her work. And then she has, this is actually a porcelain doll arm, and it has this sort of hand stitching right there, which, you know, as I've said before, I'm a total sucker for that. It looks like the pattern on her outfit is this, maybe like a vintage quilt. And then the eyes are these wooden buttons that have been painted and then just kind of like sanded down. I mean, there's so much detail on this particular doll. She has one long arm that's just a sewn arm, and then she's got these kind of grunged up palms in the front, and it says fun. Of course, it's a fun doll. It's just bursting with colors. And actually the area in my art studio that I put her in, I was holding out for something really bright and colorful because I have this one section where I do my sewing that's bright pinks and yellows, and when I saw this, it was perfect. And look at her little horns. And then on her back, she has some more of that vintage quilting. And then something else that I really love about what she did, and she's done this a number of times, and the first time I saw her do this, it really blew my mind. And I know it sounds so simple and maybe kind of lame, but if you look, she has like the raw edges on the outside. Like she didn't sew it together and then turn it inside out like, you know, like a normal doll maker would do, you know. And that's another thing that I really, the first time I saw her do that, it really blew my mind, because most doll artists, they want it to all look, you know, nice and, you know, well put together, and she just changes the rules, and I love that. So that's Marzi, and then this is Pixie, the little friend that comes with Marzi, and she has for her arms and legs little pins. And that's another thing that Junker Jane uses a lot in her work, is she uses a lot of like sewing pins as actual parts of the piece. But look at that little face. And it also has some of that quilting. And then the hair is faux fur, but just so much fun, such bright colors. And then the back is striped, very circusy, very happy dolls. Anyways, so that's Monster Marzi and Pixie. The next one that I want to show you is Vexed Vivilla. I think that's how you say it. And what really struck me about this one is, first of all, the pink. I actually love pink. I really do. It's my secret shame. But I do. I love pink. And it has like stars and moons on it, very like mystical, but, you know, also cheery sort of fabric. And then she has this sort of like bright green face that's been grunged up, and her sort of like angry little mouth. And she has 3 black buttons. Her arms are about the same length, which is unique to a Junker Jane doll, but her legs, as you can see, are not even. And then on her back, she has a heart up here and her label, but the same fabric is kind of used throughout. And then also she has another one of those safety eyes as the nose on this particular doll. So yes, so there you have it, Vexed Vivilla. Very cool. Okay, so this next one is Monster Charlie, and it's, as you can see, it's more of a Frankenstein doll. I like how she did the arms out to the sides instead of, you know, pointing them downward like she usually does. So this one looks like he's like ready to dance, ready to party a little bit. The color is, again, one of my favorite color schemes, just that sort of like olive green. As you can see, I have a lot of the olive green sort of ones. But there was something about, she's made a number of Frankenstein ones in the past couple of years, but this one really stood out to me because of the facial expression. Also I really loved that he has got this like super long head and this tiny little body. And he also has a little skull, comes with him. And then I think I showed you the back already, but here it is again. And he has this little faux fur tuft on top, which is another, I think, clever idea for a Frankenstein, because, you know, usually it's just like straight across. But on this one, she added a little extra flair. So there he is, Monster Charlie. So I've saved my favorite two for last. And you may be surprised at which ones are my actual favorites. But I don't know, there's something about them I feel like is so special. So this is Monster Mumps. And again, I'm not usually a clown person, but there's something about this guy that just is so Junker Jane. Maybe it's the mouth, and the shape of the mouth, and just how he's just kind of like, I don't know. There's something about him that that sets him apart, I feel like, from anything else. And I love his face, and he's got another one of those eyes that's like an eye transfer or something, like an image transfer. He says monster on him. He has a little skull, and I bought him around the same time that I bought Monster Mummer. But yeah, this is Monster Mumps, and also I don't even like the color red. I actually hate the color red, but something about this doll, he just shines. He just shines so brightly, and I love him. So let me give you another close-up so you can admire him some more. All right, there we go. And now for the final one. Okay, guys, so here she is, my most precious Junker Jane doll. This one is the one that I would stuff in my backpack if an angry mob was chasing me out of town. I would grab it real quick, stick it in there, and hit the road. So anyways, this right here, this is Tallulah. The thing that I love about this one specifically is the shape of the head. She's got kind of like a tubby little tummy, which is really cute. And I don't know, there's something about the way that the fabric, like how the stuffing is within the doll, that just makes her kind of look slouchy a little bit. And I really love that about her. She has hand-stitched details around her heart. She has her own little skull, comes with her. Another detail that that I really loved about some of Junker Jane's dolls that she did that was really different from what other people were doing is she tied the top sort of like a trash bag. And it was just so different from what anybody else was doing. And her face is kind of like stitched on as well. She also has, that sort of like stiff painted, maybe it's polyurethane. I'm not really sure what she used to do that, but she's got her rosy cheeks. She's got the safety eyes and one used for the nose as well. And her sort of like sad, frowny little mouth. She has I love the monochromatic, again, sort of like grunged up, almost like washed out, shabby chic sort of look to her. She has lace down here at the bottom and this sort of like floral print outfit. And then on the back, she also has the floral print, and then also some more lace detail back there. So this one, yeah, this one is my favorite. And Junker Jane can be found on Instagram. I believe it's at Junker Jane. And then she also has a Big Cartel shop. So if you like Google Junker Jane, Big Cartel, you'll find her shop. And she usually has at least a couple dolls at a time. And so hopefully, I don't know, this video maybe helped you come to appreciate her work like I've come to appreciate it. You know, who knows? Maybe you'll become a collector too, and we'll have to duke it out every time she posts a new doll. But anyways, next up, I thought we could do a little segment on, you know, doing some dark arts and crafts. So if that sounds good to you, stay tuned and let's get crafting.